Hey guys, it's Austin Doctor, and welcome to a review of Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Senpai, and this is episode 2. And before things begin, I would like to say, if you do want to follow my series, I'm going to be covering this throughout the entire season. Do subscribe, because it's free. But anyway, so, this was an episode, a very good episode indeed, but I just want to talk about how Mei and Saku, they're one of my favorite couples this season so far, and I know that's saying a lot because people like Asuna and Kirito, but I have to say they are a lot better. I know that's gonna piss a couple people off, but they're my favorite couple so far. They kind of remind me of Hero and Zero too. They need each other. That's kind of, I don't know, that's the relationship I like. But anyways, going to the actual walkthrough and review. So we see the cat in the box theorem again, and I really like that theorem because it's one of those things. I've played Bioshock, the entire series. I love Bioshock, and hearing about that outside of video games and actually people are talking about it finally makes me very happy because I found it one of the most interesting theorems, and it breaks off into a multi-universe theorem at some point, and I love talking about that. If you ever wanted to talk about me, to me about something, there you go. But so we hear about how humans only exist only if an observer confirms it. And this is all psychological, and I love this anime so far. And we see that Saku and Mai are actually shopping together, and anytime Mai holds something, it's also invisible. So Saku just he wants to see what would happen if she held hands with him, and he asked her, "Hey, you want to hold hands?" She want to be my first girl I ever hold hands with. She holds his arm, but he can be seen still, not Mai, which was quite interesting. And Saku brings up, why Mai took a break, and the background to that is she stopped doing her showbiz and all that stuff because of a swimsuit photo shoot that she didn't want to do, but her mom forced her to do. And basically she thinks her mom only cares about her because she brings her money. I'm like, that's pretty rough. And Mai obviously got really mad at him and slapped him. And, Saku was like, okay. He's just the, okay, Hachima kind of thing. And basically he told Mai how he got the information. She kind of warned Saku about how getting that photo in the news could cause him a lot of grief and harassment to him and his own sister. So she actually calls up the reporter and tells her basically information that she's going to be returning to showbiz, and she's going to be working from a different agency, and to basically make a promise that she won't show that on the news. And it was very interesting to see Mai go that far to protect Saku, and this is we see their relationship is it's right there. They just need to be, hey, yeah, I love you, you love me, good, kind of thing. And you just at the screen, just kiss. That's how I was this entire episode. But we see that Mai actually lives extremely close to Saku, and basically, before she went to inside her apartment, she asked Saku to hang out, and of course, Saku took it as a date, but she told him it's not. So it was one of those laughable moments. But Saku actually, on the way there, tries to help a lost child and gets kicked by a random girl. We don't ever learn her name yet, but she thinks he's a pedophile and is trying to do, obviously, that stuff. And he goes, no, I was just trying to help her mother. And the child said, yes. And she basically said that he can kick her as to be even. And when he does that, the police officer comes up and takes them to the station, and they get the girl, obviously, there. And they were both late. And I have a feeling that girl is going to play a very significant role down the road or in the next episode. And I hope they do this well. But we see Mai ask, Saku why he looks out for her so much, and we don't get the real answer. It doesn't. Well, we get the answer, but I'll talk about the other answer that I figured out. And he wanted to help her because his sister has gone through a situation that no one understands, and he doesn't have his mom or father with him, and it's just she has him to rely on. So he wants to be basically to help her because that's just who the person is. And this kind of reminds me of Hachiman. He wanted to help people when he basically felt the need, and it's slowly breaking him out of his shell that he's usually in. And I wouldn't so much compare him too much to Hachiman anymore, but that's kind of where I'm going to base him off of. But quite interesting. And we hear about the story about Soko, which is just like May, what's going on with her right now. She actually disappeared and was never found upon. And my thesis with this one is he's doing this because obviously he said he was in love with that girl Saku, and he doesn't want to lose Mai, because that's kind of like his replacement, I guess. And I know that's a horrible thing to say, but that's kind of how he can atone, I guess. And he can it's weird, but that's kind of how I guess it would work. But we see that Mai actually invited her mother to the beach to tell her about she's like done with her agency, and Mai's mom actually couldn't see her at all. And I was like, oh my, why we gotta have feels this early? And she doesn't even remember her own daughter. And Saku was going around asking people about Mai at all, and people don't remember her. And the reporter doesn't even remember who she promised, the correct person she promised about the whole scar thing. And I'm going to say this little quote. I love this quote. The human brain is a very interesting thing, for the simple fact that when it struggles to remember memories, it will create memories where there are none. And this is what's going on right now with the reporter. She thinks now it's Saku that actually made the promise, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's really interesting they're including something like that. And it's a very true thing if you have ever gone through, like, if you forgot stuff a while ago. And that's why like the game Telephone, over time you start to remember it differently, but it starts to make more sense when you see actual evidence from it. But going back to the review, we basically have Sakuta that he wants to be with May all the way through, and basically will never forget her. And I'm like, these people, they're a good couple, best couple so far. And I see that list, they're not number one. We're gonna have some issues here, understood? But we see that Kanade doesn't actually remember Mai either, and we see Saku and Mai are actually going to Mai's hometown to see if anyone remembers her, and sadly no one does. And Kumi actually, out of everyone, remembers Mai, which is quite interesting. It seems that Futade does also, and very interesting. My theory is with this, I know there's obviously a source material, but let's not try to spoil stuff here. But my theory is anyone that is close to Futade, very close, like friend-wise, will still have that knowledge that he shares as a friendship connection, I guess, and quite interesting. But going on to like the final part, that how May wanted to actually kiss, and she was playing around with good old Saku at the end, and basically he missed his opportunity to kiss the girl. And I was like, oh, you people, we wanted a kiss scene. You should have done it. You should have gave us that, but you didn't. You played with us. You played us like a fiddle. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. I think this series is quite interesting, and I can't wait for more episodes. But anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a really great episode? The next episode, what did you think of this episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you get bored of it? Do you think, Mai and Saku are one of the best couples of fall anime so far? Let me know down in the comments down below. But anyways, guys, if you did like this video, smash that like button. If you are new here, do consider subscribing and hitting that bell, because that bell is very shiny, and let me tell you, very helpful at some points. But anyways, guys, this is Austin Doctor signing out. Peace.